Welcome to the Joe Cortez Show here in Las Vegas, Nevada, the entertainment capital of the world. And of course, today we have a special guest, DeLynn Maye, who's most recently just graduated from the FBI Citizens Academy, and you're an alumni of the FBI now.
Yes,
I'm
I
so
am.
proud of you, DeLynn.
Thank you.
I know we have some guests today. You can talk a little bit about your friends.
I am. I am proud to say I am an alumni of the Citizens Academy of the FBI. And today we have from the FBI here in Las Vegas, we have Sandy Breault and Vicki Correia. And they're going to both be with us today on this show.
Yeah, you viewers out there, this is the entertainment capital of the world. And of course, a lot of things go on here. We need a lot of good enforcement people out there. That's why we have these two young ladies that are going to talk to you a little bit about what's going on behind the scenes and what's going on in the real world here in Las Vegas. So stay tuned for two outstanding individuals who will be talking to you what's going on in Vegas and how are they recruiting women, because this is Women's Month. See you in a bit.
Live from Las Vegas, the entertainment capital of the world, it's the Joe Cortez Show.
Well, welcome to the Joe Cortez Show here in Las Vegas, Nevada, the entertainment capital of the world. And of course, with entertainment and everything that goes on in this beautiful city here in Las Vegas, a lot of things happen. And of course, we need some help sometimes. We have law enforcement individuals involved to protect the citizens here in Las Vegas. And of course, today, we have two special guests. We have from the FBI, we have Sandy Breault, who's an FBI Public Affairs Officer. And then we have the FBI agent, Vicki Correia, who's been with the force a good 22 years. And Sandra, you've been on for 32 years. Wow, you girls are really giving a lot for the law enforcement here in Las Vegas. And of course, our viewers out there want to know, what are these two beautiful young ladies doing in law enforcement? You're here to protect our community, our citizens. And of course, you're out there giving information about what you can do in the community. Now, this month is International Women's Month. And there's so much happening with recruitment and with law enforcement and whatnot. Can you tell us a little bit about your duties and what's going on?
I can. I'll start with the upcoming event, the reason that you had us here, and thank you for having us. It's going to be the first one like it, the first recruiting event that we're doing jointly with other Las Vegas law enforcement entities, to include Metro is actually hosting it, so Metro and Henderson Police Department, North Las Vegas, and the U.S. Attorney's Office and the FBI. There will be others there, but those will be the agencies that will have speaking roles. So not only will we talk about jobs that are available, but we'll talk about what it's like to be a woman in the FBI. We will have 5 different speakers talking about that.
That'd be great. Now, who are the speakers? Who are they going to be? I mean,
From North Las Vegas, it's going to be the chief of police, and then from Henderson, I believe it's one of the captains. From Metro, a captain as well, and from the U.S. Attorney's Office, that will be our only individual speaker that is not a female. It will be the new U.S. Attorney.
Okay.
And from the FBI, Vicki will be talking about recruiting, and we will have one of our supervisory special agents.
Well, Vicki, first of all, I want to thank you for serving and helping us out with you. You've been an FBI agent for the last 22 years.
Yes, I have.
And I mean, it says a lot about you. I mean, you're a special person who cares, and not only about what's going on here in Las Vegas, but you care about your department, the FBI. And no one would ever think, actually, she's in disguise. That's not her real face. But I mean, you've had some exciting jobs. I'm sure your assignments for different duties has not been easy, especially being a female.
You're right. Yeah, Joe, the FBI has approximately 13,500 special agents worldwide. 12,500 of those are male, and it's really only about 20%. Those numbers don't quite add up, but yeah, it's a male-dominated industry, and we are here to advertise that women can and should be doing this job.
Who inspired you to become a law enforcement individual?
I was one of the rare kind of applicants, I think, in the day, Joe. I went to law school, and I actually was recruited as I was getting ready to graduate, and it was a great mesh of law and law enforcement. And again, I hit 22 years as an FBI agent, and I've never looked back. So I was a little bit unique. We work with a lot of people that realize, in their heart they want to do something law enforcement, with mission heart in supporting, Americans worldwide. But I was one that kind of fell into it, and I've never looked back.
Now you're looking to recruit more individuals, and so you're paying it forward now.
Yes.
To help other individuals like yourself. When you first started, it was a big thing, but now
yes.
you're showing other individuals out there that there's light at the end of the tunnel. If you're really into law enforcement, something you want to do, you say, how can I get in? That you could walk us through the recruitment and what's going to go on the 30th of this month.
Oh, you bet. And again, please, it's open to everyone, but we're focusing on women in law enforcement. And we are going to show you an overview of what it's like to be a local law enforcement officer, what it's like to maybe work at the state level as an assistant U.S. attorney. And certainly we'll be talking more in depth about what it's like to become a special agent with the FBI. Our minimum qualifications for our agent position include having U.S. citizenship, having at least a 4-year college degree, and at least 2 years of professional work experience. But the good news about that is any major, any background, any degree is really sufficient. We're looking for people that think differently. You can come in as a teacher, you can come in as a chiropractor, you can come in certainly from the military or another law enforcement entity, but we're looking for people that really want to do this job and kind of have that mission heart, like I said.
You look at somebody with a good punch?
No, you know what? You could send us a lot of people, I know, that way, but there is a physical fitness element as part of our agent processing. You definitely have to be able to do push-ups, sit-ups, and a little bit of running as part of the process.
I can do that.
Yes.
I'm ready.
Yes, and we'll box at the academy, so that is part of our training.
Good. Now, Sandra, tell me a little bit. Now, you're with the public affairs,
Right.
And you do such a fine job. That you've been there 32 years. That's a long time.
That is a long time.
I mean, you must have came out of grade school.
So no, I didn't. But I think the length of our time combined says something for working for the Bureau. We love it here. That's why we're still here. I think most of the people that I know stay until they can retire. So it's a wonderful, wonderful place to work. My job is the media, so I represent the FBI with the media. But one of the things that you are part of is the community outreach program from the Citizens Academy. I think that's definitely one of the best things we do.
Yes, it is an honor to be part of the beautiful family of the FBI, and giving out there, going out to the community, especially these young folks out there. But there's also adults out there that need a little help, that we have to try to see exactly where they're going. Now, we were talking earlier before the show about when individuals get out there, they sign up and they get an application, and they fill out these fraudulent applications, and that's when they end up in trouble, because the FBI, that's what they're there for. They're there to make sure we do things the correct way, the right way, and we don't want to see anybody putting something that's not true on the application, because that's a way to say, you know what, we don't want that person. We need honesty, and that's important. Vicki, about applications.
Yes.
Can you talk to them about what's the procedure?
You bet, and it varies. And we'd like to also use this forum, if you could, to expand. We do have special agents, as we talk more about. We'll talk a lot more about that at the March 30th event. But we have a whole cadre of, we call them professional staff or professional support opportunities in the FBI. And the application, no matter which position you hire on for within our agency, it's the same background, the same process. We do put everybody through a polygraph exam to, again, their candor is a big thing in the FBI. So you need to be honest and have that integrity. We do a drug test. We certainly do a lot of interviews where we're talking to references and employers and even your neighbors to determine the character of who you are and your potential to come in and be an honest, truthful employee.
Now, if somebody has had a problem in the past, its history,
Yes.
will that affect them in these?
That's an excellent question, and we want to encourage people that may be a little hesitant to seek out our opportunities, because we use what we call a whole person concept when we're hiring. And that means we're all human, and we have speeding tickets. We may have a credit issue or two, but the thing is we look for what we call mitigating factors, how you've really kind of recovered from maybe a little blip in your history. Maybe, you did something as a teenager, or even, had some issues with the law in a historical capacity. We'd still like to encourage you to check it out, because if it's kind of dated enough, you still are certainly eligible to hire on board with us.
As long as there's been no major crimes.
Correct, no felonies,
Right,
unfortunately.
right. The felony, if you're a felon, you can just, you're really in
Correct.
deep trouble.
Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, the FBI won't hire anybody with felonies. Any kind of like tax delinquency, things like that, again, because we're a government agency. So you kind of have to be
You gotta pay your taxes.
on the up and up with
Pay
that.
that penny, pay it. If not, you'll be looked up afterwards.
That's right.
And the FBI does a good job of that. Anyway, Sandra, so what have been your best years working with the FBI? What great memories do you have of what you've been doing?
I think in the media, in my position, one of the things when there's an event, like a tragic event, like 1 October, or several others that the FBI has been involved in, setting up the command post, getting it ready from a media perspective, how we're going to address it. And I've had the opportunity to travel to other command posts, like in Burns, Oregon, and several others. But it's interesting to see how every part of the country is different. I came from the Omaha division, where the area is different than Las Vegas. So a lot of the
Well, you got to tell me a little bit. What do you mean the area is different? And this is Sin City, but there's good people here like us.
Yeah, so if I'm in the bank in Omaha or the grocery store, I wouldn't see an Elvis impersonator or slot machines. But then the pros of living here, other than, of course, the weather, which everyone loves, are just the array of things to do. You're never at a loss for something to do living here. So I think people that transfer to Las Vegas quickly realize that and enjoy it. Not just on the Strip and not just in restaurants, but Red Rock. I mean, there's just so many places to go and do.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I love it. I've been here myself 28 years, and I love it because of, like you said, the weather.
Yes.
And there's so much to do outside of the Strip. It is a beautiful city. You want to go skiing? You can go skiing here in the desert. Go up to Mount Charleston. You want to go fishing in the desert? Yes, you can go to Lake Mead. There's a lot that you can do here. But of course, you want to see a good fight? Come out to T-Mobile Arena, MGM. We have great fights here. Now, Vicki, tell me. You have been with the FBI 22 years, and that says a lot about you. I mean, being a female, I'm sure
Yes.
you must have had some difficult times and whatnot. And here in Vegas, you've been here in Vegas most of your life.
Correct.
Okay, now, the gun law.
Yes.
The gun law in Nevada, how do you see that compared to other states?
I think, quite frankly, I don't want to say it's kind of not as harsh, but we seem to see a lot of people that think they can get lost in Las Vegas. So, I mean, we see certainly the volume of maybe fugitives or people coming to Las Vegas maybe to initiate a scam because of the population and things like that. So I think it kind of goes hand in hand with, just the volume. Again, I don't even know how many citizens in even Clark County now. So I think
I think it's close
you
to,
can kind
it's
of get
close,
lost,
it's close to about
I think.
1.5 million, close to 2 million, I believe.
I think it is. Grown
And
that
when
high
I
now.
got here 28 years ago, it was like maybe 600,000.
Right.
Here we are almost to 1 million, and the whole state of Nevada is close to 3 million.
Right. That's huge.
It is
So,
huge, but
I think you can get lost
this
with a
town
lot of
has
that.
been known to be when it comes to a lot of these flimsy individuals. They
Right.
want to come here and make a quick scam, and you got the young folks now. You got the young teenagers. They look at Las Vegas, the entertainment capital of the world. They can be singers, entertainers. They think they're going to come here for a free ride and make it to be the top, in entertainment. And these young kids are really led into these traps, I would call it. And we're talking about traps. Let's go talk a little bit about what goes on social media with these kids. What's going on out there with that?
Well, as part of the background investigation, I certainly want to add that we, the FBI, are looking at that as part of a hiring, again, perspective. It shows a lot as to your character and your honesty sometimes. But
Yeah, and I know. Go ahead.
I think it's a great segue into partnerships, what Vicki was talking about. We can go back to the social media, but the partnerships that are involved with, she said about the individuals that come here and are apprehended, the CAT team, the Criminal Apprehension Team in Las Vegas, which is led by the FBI but is comprised of local law enforcement, is one of the busiest in the country because they are, a lot of the times they're just getting someone, picking them up for a crime they committed in another city.
Right. Now, one day, one of the classes that I went to, they were showing on the big monitor on the social media, these chat rooms, and you find all these, I'll call them a bunch of, I wish I could punch them in the forehead, because these guys out there, trying to lure these young kids online and just, showing their private parts on the computer. And you parents out there, you got to watch over your children's shoulder once in a while when they're on the computer to see what they're doing, because there's a lot of bad people out there that are trying to take advantage of your loved ones, your children. And there's a lot of people out there. It could be doctors, lawyers, law enforcement individuals, all kinds of people, all walks of life. Some of them are sick in their head. And I hate to say that, but that is the truth. You find a lot of predators out there that are just trying to, they know they get these kids are young and inexperienced. They come out to Vegas, or I want to meet you someplace. And some of these guys drive out a couple of 100 miles, even fly from one state to another to meet a certain kid. It could be 14, 15 years of age. Vicki, what's going on with that? I mean,
We have a robust task force that addresses that.
now talking about the addresses, there's a lot of individuals out there, and you guys, if there's people out there watching this, beware, because sooner or later you will be caught. Believe me, I tell you. I hope that you guys go to hell, because you guys are really, what you're doing to these kids is really bad. I mean, really bad.
Right. So you're talking more of the predators, but just turning it a little bit back into the social media and hoax threats. That's kind of a really big thing right now. These kids that are putting hoax threats out there through social media. One of the things that we're partnering with the U.S. Attorney's Office to do is let kids know that this is a federal crime when you do something like that, and the consequences that could come about, the ramifications through the law that can happen to you.
Yeah, there's a lot of individuals out there that are getting away with murder these days for simple reasons. Sometimes we don't have enough law enforcement individuals out there to go out there. There's so much crime going out there every day. Right now, as we speak, there are hundreds of individuals on those chat rooms talking. If you go on your computer, just look it up, you can see. Don't get involved with those chat rooms, but there's hundreds of chat rooms out there where people are talking to these young kids and try to lure them in and just get their kicks, because they're sick in the head. And we have to put a stop to this. If you know of anybody out there who's doing this, please report it to the law enforcement. Let them know what's going on, because sometimes there's family members, there are your neighbors, and you think you can trust certain individuals with your kids, and sometimes you cannot, because you have to keep an eye on it. Today with social media, what's going on, these young kids get lured in very easily with these professionals, molesters that are out there, and they're thinking they're getting a kick out of this, but they're so sick in the head, they don't think they're doing anything wrong. And it takes people like yourself and us to point them out and say, let's go after these guys. If you know they're doing something wrong, please report it to your law enforcement. Vicki, now you as an FBI agent,
Yes.
do you try to talk to these kids, and you guys have a program to get out to the schools and address these kids in reference to do's and don'ts in life?
We absolutely do, and we really try to plant that seed at the elementary level, all the way through high school and certainly college, because we do have a great internship program for college-age students to come on board and earn credit, earn money as a paid internship program. But we try to plant that seed, really just the caution to parents as well as children.
Yeah, I'd like to see a program out there with the Board of Education to try to educate these young kids out there when they're in grade school, in middle schools, high school. Just talk to them a little bit about, I know Metro and the FBI Academy, the alumni. We've gone out to different colleges and schools to talk to these kids about the do's and don'ts in life. And we try to get them, educate them, get them on the right track. We try to get them when they're young, so they can hopefully, it's a sad sometimes, because you get some of the parents that are at home, they're either drunks or they're on drugs themselves. And what influence can they give these kids? That these kids see their parents doing these things, and these kids automatically start doing what the parents are doing.
Right.
And that's what's really is so sad, Because you say, listen to your mom and dad, but your mom and dad, they're druggies or they're in gangs themselves. So what do? Any kind of a programs we have or we can create to try to educate the young folks in school, in the classrooms, or at home? Can we have anything?
Go ahead, yes.
So yes, we do. We have those in place all the time, and they're becoming more and more active with going into schools. We just went into a school last week and talked about, if you know your friend is going to meet somebody that they met online and they're going to meet them, tell someone, because you can stop it. Even though it's your friend and it's supposed to be a secret, don't meet anyone you've never seen in person, ever. I mean, that's so important.
Now, these individuals that are committing these type of crimes, I mean, what are the penalties involved?
Oh, there are strong penalties for them. Each one is a little bit different depending on what it is, but if you're luring someone in, that's a crime under false pretenses, and a lot of times it's the younger middle school age children that they're luring in.
Yeah, I can tell you folks out there, we're keeping an eye on you. If you're doing it, watch out, 'cause here we come. We're going to be getting you guys sooner or later, believe me. I get very, very upset when I hear about these, and I talk about this topic because I have grandchildren. And God forbid somebody was to try to do something like that to one of my grandchildren, I don't know what I'll do. But that's why we have to always have friends in law enforcement. Don't lose your cool. Don't lose your head going out there trying to murder somebody because they're doing something to your kids. The thing is to be cool, calm, and collective and do it the right way so you don't end up behind bars. Because you may say, well, they did this to my kid. And you know what? Then you're going to be behind bars just like them. So try to do it the right way and reach out to the law enforcement and report it and let the law enforcement individuals take action and let the police do their job. I can tell you, Vicki, you as an FBI agent, you have any children?
I do. I have two daughters.
Okay.
And they've grown up in the FBI, and I think it's an incredibly family-friendly organization. Even anybody that is considering coming to work with us, it is a great foundation. The people I work with are some of the most incredible people I've ever met.
No question about it. I've been around with the FBI for a number of years, a good 15 years. And I can tell you that I've met some really fine individuals, and I have Bob Bennett,
Yes.
who's our executive director with the Nevada State Athletic Commission. And he was a former FBI agent for 24 years. And it's an honor to have him as a friend and being in the position he's in today with the boxing world. But I've been involved with them for a number of years, and through Bob Bennett is how I ended up becoming an alumni myself. So it's been a great honor, but it's also a way for us to, as an alumni, to go out there and in the community and reach out and talk to the kids and talk to the family members about what's going on around us. Of course, there's been a lot of crimes that if you see something, do something about it, especially now with terrorism and all the drug situations going on. What kind of programs do you have in place right now as far as advising and notifying law enforcement what's going on with terrorism and drugs and gangs?
If you see something, say something. The billboards are up there. They're telling you to say something. Call local law enforcement. Call your local FBI. There's an FBI tip website that you can go to. That's the most important thing. If you see something, say something, and monitor your kids. Monitor what they're doing.
Okay, now going back to this event on the 30th of this month here in Las Vegas, the location is?
It's at Metro. It's at Metro from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And there will be a structured program followed by an opportunity to visit all the different tables and find out about what the hiring process is for each and every one of them. I know Vicki's very familiar with Metros. I think it's similar, but I know there's a little bit of difference in some of like the U.S. Attorney's Office. So people will be able to hear about that and hear about experiences from others.
Yeah, Vicki, as an FBI agent, what can you tell our viewers out there in reference to get more involved with the FBI, find out what's going on in the FBI structure?
Absolutely. We encourage everybody to check out our www.fbijobs.gov. There's a lot of information regarding our internship, our special agent position, all of the various professional support positions that we offer. And that is also where you actually make application on fbijobs.gov. We have our own portal. So we are no longer on usajobs.gov, which a lot of the other federal law enforcement agencies post their vacancies at.
And our website again?
www.fbijobs.gov.
Well, this is what I'm talking about. Having people on the show here. I like to talk about boxing all the time. Sometimes I bring on some special guests like today, the FBI, which is so important because this is part of our family. These are people that really care for law enforcement. We have to try to educate our children, the young ones, when they're young, about loving law enforcement and not hating them. They're not there to lock you up. They're not there to do bad things to you. You young folks out there, law enforcement individuals, like the policeman walking down the street, when you see him standing in the corner, he's not there to hurt you or your parents. He's there to help. When you need help, something goes wrong, who do you call? The police. They're like family. They're like guardian angel in the real world. But if you think that if you're a criminal, you're doing the wrong thing, you say, those people are bad because you're bad. You know, we need good people out there. We try to make you people out there be good. Follow the rules of the law. Make sure that you pay attention to what you're doing. You know, if something is wrong, don't do it. You know, you young folks out there watching. You always got to follow the rule of law. Make sure you stay in check because down the line what's going to happen is you're going to apply for a position, a job, wherever. It doesn't have to be law enforcement. It could be any kind of a job. And if they look at your background, your criminal history, if you do the wrong thing, you're not going to get the jobs you want. Your dreams will go right down the drain because you did something wrong when you're young. You don't want to become a felon. You become a felon, you're basically wiped out. No matter what you do, you always have that tag on you. You're branded as a felon. You can't take that away ever. So try not to do the wrong things. You do the wrong things, you're going to go in the wrong direction, you're going to be in deep trouble. Now, Vicki, one more thing I'm going to ask you.
Yes.
If you were not an FBI agent, what would you have been? I know you were studying law.
I think I would probably default to being an attorney. I was in law school, and like I said, it was just an incredible opportunity when I met the recruiter as I was getting ready to graduate from law school to really turn me on to a position in law enforcement, especially as a female. It was something I had not considered, and I don't want anyone to discount themselves because there are opportunities in really any vein within the FBI that you'd like to explore.
Sandra, you as an FBI public affairs officer, you've been this 32 years. I know you have a passion for what's going on there. You like to reach out to the media and inform them what's going on behind the scenes and whatnot. What has been the highlight of your career?
Oh, the highlight is how the FBI comes together with partners from within, like after the Oklahoma City bombing, 9/11, what happened here in Las Vegas. The way they come together is just, you wouldn't know what it's like unless you've experienced it. It's really something.
It is.
Well, viewers out there, I could tell you that having a show like this is so important because I've always tried to be creative and try to really do something a little different. I want to bring you important topics to you guys. It's good to have good comedy shows and good game shows and whatnot, but very rare you see a show where you bring in law enforcement individuals to kind of educate you and talk to you about what's going on in the community. It's an honor to have Vicki Correia and Sandy Breault here on the show today because they are here to give information of what's going on, especially with the event coming on Friday, the 30th of this month here at the Metro headquarters. To get you females involved and with the law enforcement. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us.
Well, thank you so much. And remember, guys, keep your guards up at all times. Protect yourselves at all times. These women are fair but firm as well. Take care.